Sure now.
Okay.
Oh, cool. What's up, everyone on YouTube?
I want to see videos of people trying to bring this Wiimote plushie home from Japan.
Oh, yeah.
Same.
I
You just
would
put it in
love
a
it, though.
suitcase.
But then your Wii will never be the same. It will be
Yeah.
crushed.
Yeah. True.
It looks like the video looks okay on YouTube, from what I can tell.
Are we on Twitch and YouTube or just YouTube?
Just YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is with OBS, I'm able to get people's chat messages this way. See, Jenna says testing, and then it'll pop up on the screen. So,
What's up, Jenna?
can you
Got a
guys
sister.
hear us? We just want to make sure.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Check 1, 2, check. Josh, why do you have 2 pre-rolls that I can't skip at all?
I don't have any control of that.
I'm not the pheasant plucker. I'm the pheasant plucker's mate. I am only plucking pheasants because the pheasant plucker's late. Good.
Seems perfect. Okay. Awesome. All right, let's do this thing. Let's do this thing with the press of a button. I know you guys won't be able to see the intro and everything. Let's see if it works. Here we go. Welcome to episode 489 of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh. Johnny, what's up, man?
What's going on? I'm going to try to pay attention.
Cheesy, what's happening?
What's going on, cheese curds?
Brawler, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going? Crawler coming at you. That number made it feel real. Like we're getting close to 500.
It's close, yeah. 11 weeks till Christmas. Or episode 500. One of the two. One of the two. So, okay. Well, chat said, so happy I didn't have my headphones in because that was very loud. Sorry about that. Well, you know, it's a work in progress since we're doing this the old fashioned way now.
You up.
So yeah, time to wakey, Jenna. Before we jump into this thing, I want to invite everybody into the Discord, n64josh.com/Discord. If you guys listened to the Ladies Night episode, you heard that we're kind of like Ladies Night is kind of turning into a game club esque kind of show. So what's going to happen is anybody can participate in posting your high scores for Donkey Kong. That's our first game. I got to introduce these young ladies to the it's 81 from the arcade, but I think it was said 86 in the on the NES, and they played it for the first time. Like they'd never played it before, and so it was a good time just introducing them to old games.
Your bones crack as you stood up out of your chair.
Brawler City felt old listening to us talk about it. So, but we want to get everybody involved. So if you guys want to post your high scores, feel free. It's just in the Discord, n64josh.com/Discord. I will put I will put a specific game club spot if we don't have it for those high scores and whatnot, because I think it'll be a lot of fun. And we're gonna I put a poll on the last Spotify update in the Ladies Night show, and the games that are up next are Balloon Fight, Clue Land, and Ice Climbers. I think so. We're going.
The
with
description you read when you were going through Ice Climbers, what was it like? Exciting platform, like it was something that you said when you were reading the descriptions.
So if you
and I was
look
like,
on
no,
the box
it's
art,
not that.
Yeah, I think it's like action series, I think is what they refer to those as, and like Super Mario Brothers is action series. Excitebike was
think
like
it used.
programmed.
I think it used some adjective that was like exhilarating. It was like, no, Ice Climbers isn't exhilarating.
Yeah, well, what it is on the cover of the black boxes, they have these little, like basically little like indicator of what it is, like sports or
Programmable.
Yeah, Excitebike was programmable, so super weird. But anyway, we want to get everybody involved with that, and love to hear from everybody. Hear your thoughts on the game. You can put that in Discord and whatnot. We'll be reading those, and just I just want to see people get involved with this. So before we jump into episode 489, Johnny, where can people connect with you?
I'm at Johnny Bo everywhere: Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and the Communication Air podcast, where I have the best takes.
Hold up the chip. Is it still by your desk? Hold up the chip so people know.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's going to get the chip. The chip exists. The chip is real.
He did reveal it on Communication Error this week that the chip is in his possession.
It is real. I have it.
He just is too scared to eat it.
Are we all coming with milkshakes next week and gonna enjoy?
Oh wait! Now the milkshake thing makes sense.
It makes sense now. Yeah, you were
now
just
makes
too
sense.
early.
Yours made no sense.
I was too early. But
when are we gonna? You gonna eat it on Communication, or are you gonna eat it here?
I don't know. I need to prepare myself.
You can split it in half and
I don't want to
double your suffering.
I'm a little worried to do it like right now because I'm like pretty busy at work, and I don't want to like have a rough day at work the next day.
I mean, either day it's gonna be rough.
Yeah, but I don't want to like. My business season ends like October 15th, so I might have to do it.
Yeah, but if you eat it now, like maybe you could get out of busy season.
No, by dying probably.
Just give yourself an ulcer and then you're good.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, now it's gonna be a whole thing about me not eating it.
Just punting it. You just keep pushing it.
I love it. Let's see, Cheesy, where can people connect with you?
You can find me on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Communication Error Podcast, Cheesy C64, CheezyC 64.
And Crawler.
Best spots are TikTok and Twitter. Nightcrawler724. Nightcrawler is without the E.
All right. Well, let's talk about what we've been playing, because I know we've all been playing, or at least hopefully we've put a little bit of time into the indie game that launched today, Iron Meat. I will say this right off the bat. I have had a great time with this game, and it is, if you're a fan of Contra, do not sleep on this one. It is so good. I'm still working on getting somebody from that team on the show here to talk Iron Meat. Did you guys get much time with it? I know Crawler got a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's full of challenges and things to unlock as you're playing through. It has kind of good progression. I think after you get to a level, you kind of can just go back there. Is that how that works, Josh?
I believe so. Yes. I didn't do much backtracking. I kind of just onward.
Yeah, I've kind of just been going forward, but I think there was like a level select after you do it. So, but there's like tons of different character skins to unlock as you're going through. We were playing with some of the fun ones at the indie mixer that we first saw this game at PAX, and yeah, it's I wish we could play online together, because I think that would make it that much better. But more reason for us to get together in person and play some more.
If you die, is it pretty forgiving?
You have like 15 lives. And I think it almost resets them sometimes on new levels or new chapters, so it is pretty forgiving.
Okay,
but it is like Contra, one hit kills kind of deal.
Right. Yeah,
I played it a bit. I played like a level or two, and I died a lot. Like
good, Johnny.
At first I didn't know what was going on. Like I've played Contra, but I have not played that much of Contra, so like if you pick up the power ups, your weapons change all the time.
Yep.
And I find a cool weapon that I want to use, but then I pick up a different power up and it is a weapon that I hate. So I don't like that. So I try to avoid the power ups, but then once you die, you like lose whatever gun you had. And yeah, it's definitely hard. I like I think the opening cutscene was like an homage to Metroid. It had a very like Metroid breaking out of a test tube,
Oh
and
yes.
then even like Super Metroid.
Yeah, because they were on like a moon base, right? And it came through the
Yeah, and
portal
then,
back to Earth, and
yeah, like Super Metroid, I feel like has a similar scene.
it's kind of Doom-esque as well. Like Doom
Yeah,
had that portal to hell from Mars or whatever, and
but yeah, I mean, if you like hard games, if you like Contra for sure, it is a love letter to Contra. I would think
Oh
that's like
yes.
the right the way of saying it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, and especially with all the Castlevania games that have been coming out on from these Konami collections or whatever. Like this it potentially is right up your alley if you're a fan of Konami games from back in the day. So definitely check that
You
out.
feel badass. It's a badass game.
That's true.
You know?
That's,
Super meat.
yeah.
Like it has a badass name.
iron meat.
Iron meat, whatever. Yeah, the meat in there. There's iron, there's meat.
Cheesy, have you got a chance to play much of it?
I've not been able to play it. I've been playing Plucky Squire, and actually, my wife and I have been playing it together. And we just got, I think we're like towards the end, and it takes like a really cool turn. I've been enjoying Plucky Squire. I do agree with Johnny that it is pretty easy. I think it's charming, but I don't know if it's enough for some people to like make that purchase. Like
So some of the reviews,
it's good. It's inventive, but it is pretty easy.
some of the reviews I've listened to have been kind of like it doesn't dive deep enough into any. It tries too many different things and doesn't
Yeah.
really expand on it or go very deep in kind of some of the aspects that they're gonna explore for like challenges or
Yeah, it doesn't like
type
to.
modes that it tries to kind of motifs that it kind of tries to adopt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it like introduces a concept and then doesn't lean into it for very long.
Like what? Like without spoiling, what do you mean?
I'm just thinking like even I guess the word puzzle thing is pretty much all the puzzles.
Yeah, they do use that quite a bit. And I think like when you do get new abilities, you do use it throughout the rest of the game. And it is cool how the like different chapters that you approach, there are new genres basically that you are playing within that chapter. But
Yeah, I
it
think
doesn't like lean into it again. It's like a one and done kind of thing. And then even the 3D world, maybe Johnny can agree with this. It's not big enough as much as I wanted it to be. It's
yeah,
like
no,
go collect this thing and then you go back into the 2D world.
yeah, and I feel like the 3D levels, or I guess I don't know if they're levels, they're not that innovative. Like they're nothing special. There's nothing really mind blowing there. The
Mhm.
2D is where the game actually shines, like when it's
Yep.
in the book. But the 3D and on Switch it runs like crap in the 3D sections, so it's just not fun to play. Uh, I guess what I was trying to say, like the very first boss that you do is like Punch Out, and then you just never do that again.
Yeah.
And then they're like, I think that's how they do like all the boss fights. There's another one where you get, I don't know, I don't want to spoil. You get a bow and arrow, but you don't get to keep it.
Yeah. There's one that's uh like a rhythm based mission. There's one that I just played that's like a bubble breaker kind of thing. Uh Yeah, so I mean, I think Johnny's right, is that every time you approach a boss, it is different, and that's kind of fun, but it also doesn't lean into the rest of the game.
Now, I remember when this game was coming out, you were saying that this was going to be Hollow Knight levels of popularity
No,
and
I
quality, and
no.
do you feel the same
Was
way?
well, was okay, hold on. What I said was I think that it could be game of the year potential. Was Hollow Knight game of the year potential? Was that at that time? Did it get game of the year nomination?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
It feels like so
Unfortunately,
long ago.
I will yeah, right? Because we're still waiting on Silk Song. Uh I will say no. Unfortunately, I do not think this is a game of the year contender. It may be a independent game. However, I think that is probably going to go to Animal Well.
Should go to Balatro.
Hmm.
Balatro
That's
just came out on
that's
phone.
a good point.
Guess who just bought it again?
You love
But yeah, I mean,
Balatro.
I agree. Plucky Squire, it's definitely interesting. Like it's a Zelda game.
Yeah, I would say that it was worth the wait. I think that I was just expecting it to be a little more.
I got to grab a couple
Uh,
chats real
ho-
quick. I just want to
ho-
say, Cleva the Great says, let's see if this pops up here. I bought my copy on Temu, and you got Echoes of Knowledge, not
Wow.
not Echoes of Wisdom. So, uh, there we go. Here we go. I'm getting it to work now. Let's see here, chat. There it is. Okay, yeah. So there we go. And Joey's saying first Zelda game. I am hooked. So that's good. That's good. Love
Joey
that.
DePitz is playing Echoes of Wisdom and he's hooked.
Yep.
That's
It is.
awesome.
I mean, I don't know if you want to go into it now or if you guys want to talk about something else.
I got we'll get to it. I've got some
Okay.
Zelda trivia after. There's a few other games. I just want to mention that I've been playing a lot more Tears, and I finally have the auto build feature. Finally unlocked that.
Okay.
How did
And,
you find it? Did you look it up or did you?
No, I have not looked anything up in that game.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's cool.
No, I actually rode a minecart into like right to the area. I happened to pawn a minecart that actually took me to that area. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like,
okay.
So I did that. I had to do a stream on TikTok of Luigi's Mansion 3. And so I've kind of gotten back into that game a little bit. And so I'm like 8 floors.
Did you beat 3?
8 floors?
no?
No, not yet. No, I'm the furthest.
3's better than 2. That's for sure.
The furthest.
Well, 3's way better than 2.
I mean, I'm pretty far in 2 on my 3DS. So, and I would agree. I'm on the broadcast level or whatever. It's like
like them making the movie.
Yes. Yeah. So I was like, oh, I bet cheesy like this level. Like,
yeah.
So
yeah, it's pretty inventive. And I don't know if you've gotten to like, are you at the end of that level yet or no?
No, I literally that's where I'm at, like right there. I just came out the door.
You have a choice to make, okay? And there is a right choice.
Oh.
Just letting you know.
Okay. All right. Good to know. But that game just oozes so much charm, and it's not just because of Guigi. Like I have so much fun with it. So, I have been just getting back into gaming, which has been fun. So, the other game I jumped back into was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because of the DLC characters that came out for that game, which Mondo Gecko, which was one of my favorites as a kid. Like I couldn't wait to get that action figure and stuff. So I was super stoked to see him in game. And then I don't know, I think Mona is the name of the other character.
Yep.
And she's not like I did a little bit of research on her, like I think she might have been like something like originally around in the let's see. I pulled up an article for it right here. Do you guys remember where she's from originally? Like off the top of your head? Yeah, like I want to say she might even have been like a like from the live action or something. Remember that really corny live action? Like it was like a Power Rangers ripoff that the Turtles had for a while. Like
like a show, not the movies?
Yeah, like a show. It was so bad. They were nightmare fuel puppets and stuff. So I can't remember exactly. I was trying to see where exactly she was from, but she's apparently kind of a fan favorite that like Raphael fell in love with or something like that, and like or had a thing for. I don't know. I just found that there was a yellow turtle on a random post on Twitter named Jenny or Jenica, and it was a foot soldier that turned into a turtle because Donnie infused her with his blood because she got beat up. And the funniest the funniest thing was one of the replies was like, "Who's that? Lemoncello?" Because it had a yellow headband. So but no, like I played through with both characters for a little bit, and Mondo Gecko was super fun. Like those games, it's like they literally just put a skin on a hitbox and the hitbox does the same thing no matter what, but just his animations,
it feels different.
There's a little different feel, and it was just
they just
cool
need to expand
seeing
Shredder's Revenge so that like 12 people can play now together, because isn't that how many characters are in there?
You can now play the game without choosing a turtle.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting and also pretty cool. So, but I realized
I think
as I fired up the
you
Switch,
could do that before, because they had April, Shredder, or not Shredder, Splinter, Casey
Jones, yeah.
What's the bunny?
Yosaki Yojimbo.
Yeah, and then so you could do that almost before, but now definitely you can do all 6 characters without being a turtle.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I forgot that you could look like Game Boy colors as well. So I was like, oh, that's pretty rad. I had kind of forgotten some of that stuff. So the DLC is $3.99. So if you want to add 2 characters to your game,
the music
$4.
is free. I think the music is part of the free update, but the characters were $4.
Yeah, I was honestly disappointed that I was like, I hope this is more and there's more levels. Like that's what I was kind of I was hoping to drop like $10 to $15 and have some more levels to play as well. But
because they added challenges, I think, when they added new characters last time, right? Isn't that what they added?
It was like a whole like a whole like a challenge thing. So
real quick, cheesy. Hollow Knight was nominated at the Game Awards for Best Debut Indie, but they had a tough road ahead of them because they had Cuphead and Golf Story that were in that category as well. Cuphead won.
But it wasn't. What was the independent game that year for Game of the Year?
It was Cuphead, but they weren't even nominated. Independent game was between Cuphead, Hellblade, the first one, Night in the Woods, Pyre, and What Remains of Edith Finch.
Dang, that was actually a really good year for indie games.
That was 2017, man. 2017 was a good year for gaming.
Yeah.
Wait, so Hollow Knight
that was Breath of the Wild one game of the year.
2017? Are we saying Hollow Knight came out in 2017?
It did come out it came out in it was Kickstarter in like 2016, I think, and it came out on PC, and then
so people are complaining about it taking Silksong taking too long to come out.
Okay, it does say 2017 on the Wikipedia.
Conceived that's the same length.
Conceived in 2013, and then
that's when Windows Mario Mac. Odyssey was released.
It came to the consoles in 2018.
Yeah, but at least we have Bowser's Fury, so it
Josh, don't even. If you listen to Communication Error podcast this week, it does not matter to Johnny. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't count. That's not a game.
Apparently, it doesn't count. That is an amazing game. Like
it's like
what they were able to do.
Experience.
2 minutes. Did you even beat it?
I did.
Did you beat it?
It took 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
God.
All right. Well,
did beat it.
anything else you guys have been playing that the people need to hear about that they should go pick up or anything like that?
Challenges this week are pretty good on Nintendo World Championships. I've been playing that, grinding out some better times. We'll see how I do this week.
Yeah,
I'm
but
actually taking
Crawler,
it
what
serious.
about Stitch?
I'm doing my daily stitches. I'm up to like 140, I think, daily stitches done. I need to look
tweet
it up.
the developers and just be like, "Hey, I think I'm the only one that's still playing this. I'm waiting on the DLC."
They did do DLC. They put out new. There are new challenges. I need to puzzles I need to go do.
That's cool.
But what I really need to do is look at my. I've missed a few of like there's no like streak. It's just how many dailies you've done.
Yeah.
And I need to go back and look at what day. I guess I could look on the eShop or whatever and just do the math of how many potential dailies could be done and see how many days I've missed. But yeah, I'm still enjoying it. It's good. There's I mean a lot of the ones I have left are the big giant ones that you get as rewards for doing more of those daily challenges. I'm on 144. So today I need to do the one before the end of today. So 145 after today I've done.
Nice.
Daily challenges.
Congrats.
Still stitching.
So I'm looking over the notes, and I probably have 2 hours worth of a show in notes.
Let's
so
go.
We'll cut it back a little bit. I want to have a little bit of fun here since it's launch day for Echoes of Wisdom.
Is it though?
Well, okay. For most of us, the tricky part, even like you have a hard time getting the game. A lot of people having a hard time getting their their pre-order bonuses. Like the target I picked my game up at was like I talked to multiple people and they're like, what are you talking about? So I'm gonna go back again tomorrow.
They have no idea what that is. The people that are working on those.
Apparently with Target, it wasn't announced until last week, and it's like a jigsaw puzzle that that you get in a bag. So I'm like, well, hopefully it'll work out. We'll see.
So Cheesy, you need to go back and probably get yours then too.
I guess so.
I did end up grabbing the Switch Lite to add to the Zelda console collection because I'm just like, it looked.
Did
nice.
you open it or are you not opening it?
No, I'm not opening it. I'm not opening mine.
You know what's funny? I'm the one that never buys physical games, and you guys were having such issues getting your physical copies, and I got mine.
Where'd you end up going?
I got it at Best Buy. Well, I pre-ordered it from Best Buy when I was doing the buy two get one free, and I had it shipped to home. So,
gotcha. So, yeah, Aaron says who buys physical media, so
all four of us now at least.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of already over it.
Jeez. Well, it lasted a good week.
Already over physical media. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, because it was so cool. I was able to play at midnight last night. I played.
I already told you that was going to be a problem. I told you that you were going to have that issue.
Yeah, that's why digital's way better.
Yeah.
you can play 7 hours before.
Well, these guys, Cheesy hasn't even played yet, so almost 24 hours.
It's working, man.
Crawler hasn't played yet, almost 24 hours. So,
okay,
who's wrong here? Not me.
Nope.
Not me.
I will say there is I want to complain about it, but at the same time, it's like I can't complain about it. But there is a certain big YouTube account that will play the game a day early because they have a Australian account, and part of me is like I want to get upset because they're revealing everything, like every screenshot and every little cool secret that they find.
Ouch.
But at the same time, it's like I can't get upset with them. They're not from Australia, but they have the Australian account. The same thing that I could be doing.
Yeah, but
it
then you gotta
still
pay,
makes me mad.
You got to pay for. You got to convert the currency.
I'm kind of annoyed that I'm not afraid to call people out. Austin John Plays. He put out like what does every amiibo unlock like the day before the game even came out.
So wait, are there like every Zelda amiibo unlocks something in the
I would
game or
assume so.
what?
I didn't watch it because I didn't want to know.
Huh.
How is that not breaking embargo?
I'm assuming since the reviews were out yesterday, it was allowed to be talked about. That's the only thing I can think of.
Aaron says, imagine having to open a case and take out a cartridge. Open
So
the
good,
switch,
though.
insert
No.
cartridge. What year is this?
No, the cellophane, the cellophane on a case.
I'm not
is
opening
so
this. It's
fun
staying in the
so
cellophane.
fun to open.
It's
You don't
staying in
own
there.
your game. Gavin Newsom just is signing a law.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to.
Do we
make it-
really own anything in life? Do we really own anything?
You have
Oh
You
physically
my
can't
have it
take
God.
it with you. You can't take it with
Semantics.
you.
Okay, I'm taking us to the fun part. Here we go. Zelda trivia. You guys ready? Question
Yeah.
number 1. In Ocarina of Time, who is the Sage of Light? It is multiple choice. You want me to read them off?
Sure.
Yes.
Zelda, Rauru, Sheik, or Link? Any guesses?
I'm gonna say Rauru.
That's where I was leaning. It's been a while since I
The
played.
Sage of
Ocarina.
Light.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think, is Zelda a sage? She
Well,
is a sage.
Zelda's the like power of wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
in
going
the
Zelda.
Triforce.
All right, correct answer is B, Rauru.
Let's go.
See, this just reiterates the fact why I don't care about lore. I
we go.
really don't care.
Rauru revealed himself to be the Sage of Light in the Temple of Light after Link drew the Master Sword. Zelda, Sheik, turned out to be the 7th Sage. So see, John, he was a sage. She was a sage. Assumed to be of time just before Ganondorf kidnapped her. Question number 2. What is the name of the King of Hyrule that assists Link in the Wind Waker?
Hmm.
Daltas
I know, it's King of Red
Gustav
Lions.
Hyrule. No, his real name, not the...
Oh, come on, that's BS.
Harkinian Hyrule. No Hansen Daltis Hyrule. Or Daphnis No Hansen Hyrule.
Wait, what?
You did a bunch of things, and I don't know.
It's D. It's the last one. It's the last one. He disguised himself as the Red Lion. These are deep, all right? These are some deep cuts. We're having a little...
Honestly, I was just gonna say the old man.
Yeah, right. Okay, here we go. True or false? Link fights a Darknut in Link's crossbow training.
I
Ooh.
never played that game. No clue.
I'm gonna say
True.
true.
Answer is true. There we go. All right. We'll do 2 more. In The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, what item is required to enter the Shadow Temple? A, Master Sword. B, Hookshot. C, Lens of Truth. Or D, Bombs.
Going Lens of Truth.
Hookshot.
What temple?
The Shadow Temple.
That's like the last temple, cheesy.
Yeah, Lens of Truth.
C, Lens of Truth is correct.
Hookshot's
All right.
like the first item that you get. Oh my god.
Been a long time, man.
Who is the current producer of the Legend of Zelda series? You're not getting multiple choice on this one. You have to just guess.
Be Enuma, right?
It literally is B, Enuma. The way
I'm
he
also
said-
wearing my Splatoon.
Oh, you're wearing a Courage.
I'm wearing the
Or
Ganondorf
no,
one,
that's-
whatever it is called.
You're wearing Power.
Power.
I'm wearing Courage. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Wait,
Awesome.
did Crawler not wear a Zelda shirt?
No, I'm not playing Zelda. I'm
Wow.
not playing Zelda. And I knew what Josh was wearing. That's my. I think I have 2.
So that's the Target Zelda shirt.
He's wearing a Stitch. He's wearing a Stitch shirt.
What shirt are you wearing? All I see is HA.
On shot first.
On shot
Oh,
first.
nice. Okay, that's cool.
Okay, well, let's go spoiler free. Initial impressions of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. I guess we're just gonna hear from John and I. That wasn't my.
No. I can start it.
I played up
Because
to this point right here where what you're showing.
I went on my own Zelda quest today
Okay.
to find a copy of Echoes of Wisdom, which is crazy because the whole game is like making copies. And I couldn't find one. I went to Best Buy and they didn't get any in. GameStop, their copies were delayed unless you had a pre-order. And then Walmart
Conspiracy.
was all digital. So I did not get one. This was on my lunch break, me just trying to find one because usually I do pre-order and
You
I
went
just
to 3 stores on your lunch break?
yeah, they're pretty close.
Did you go
Pretty
back
close
hungry?
Yes, I did actually. that took up my lunch break. And so I told Hannah the same thing about just me going on my own quest, and she's like, "Well, do you want me to check Target near my work?" Turns out Target is the place to go get Echoes of Wisdom. So I have not played it yet, but it is still kind of weird that we are experiencing this. And then I kind of tweeted out the same thing, and I got a response saying, I got my pre-order copy from Best Buy, but they didn't have the Switch Lite I pre-ordered at the same time months ago. They said they never even got Switch Lite consoles delivered today. Like, what is going on?
Interesting.
Yeah, and
The
so I mean,
Target here had 8 Zelda Switch Lights in stock.
Wow.
Yeah, Target is. I think Target is the place to go. I always get my stuff at Target. Like if when I needed to go and get anything, it was always Target. Always had it.
Shadowfort Game says, "No, eat your food. Zelda can wait." Also,
And
Target,
you'd even get Zelda. And
Yeah,
you
I
haven't
didn't even
played
get
it
it.
yet.
Nope.
okay, all right, and all right. Well, Johnny, the out of the 4 of us, the one that's the hardest on games is this game good enough for you to eat your chip?
It's good. It's really good. I really enjoy it. I have said recently that there's only a few games worth completing, and that's Mario games, Zelda games, and From Software games, and that's still the case. Am really liking this game. I do think it runs like doo doo butter, and I want a Switch 2 because the frames are awful in the overworld. But in dungeons, it's fine. I do think it's going to become over cumbersome with the amount of echoes that you get. Like I've only been playing for a couple hours and I have so many echoes.
can you
How
fit
far how far would you say that you are into it?
I mean, I did the first dungeon, the first official dungeon,
Okay.
and a little bit after that. I think you can favorite echoes. I know
You can sort.
You could sort, yeah, you could sort
Yeah. Yeah.
by like most used.
Yes.
Oh, I have it. I have actually have it up. I can
But
see.
I think the
there's
big thing
still
that I've
so
been
many.
seeing, yeah, the big thing I've been seeing is that like, why didn't you get like an extra row of all of your copies? It's all just one row.
At the
Yes,
same
it's
time,
like Tears of the Kingdom.
it moves really fast. Like,
and it halts the game progress when you're in that menu too. It's not like you're in a time crunch to like you need a quick action wheel or whatever to pull it up.
I will say, like, yeah, you get a bunch of echoes, but you're only gonna be using certain ones. Like, I'm never gonna use, like a keys. Those little bats or the little slimes. I'll rarely use like a pot. There's just a lot that you're not going to use.
Cryptic says, upon playing it, it feels more like the next entry in the Zelda series than a spin-off, and
I don't think it is a spin-off.
I don't believe so either. And it is a little on the easier side. Only nitpick is I wish it ran better and the inventory can be cumbersome. So
It's also
like,
okay. I don't want to now. I'm going to sound like I'm overly critical, but
That's on brand.
the echoes are so dumb, and they take forever to defeat an enemy. So most of the time, I summon something, and then I summon a rock because I'm just throwing the rock
What?
at the enemy instead.
well,
You're throwing Dwayne Johnson?
You literally solved your own problem. You don't have to do the rock. You can pick up any echo and throw it like a rock, so it attacks the way you want it to.
Yeah, well, I found one. I think it's called the I forget what it's called. Pea shooter. Hold on, I'll tell you. It's a really good one. A pea hat. Kind of broken in the beginning, but I just set that thing loose and it just goes around the map. And then I usually am just avoiding whatever's trying to attack me.
It's basically the Guardian from Breath of the Wild, right?
Exactly. I probably
Yeah.
shouldn't. That makes it way easier.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting concept, and I can't wait to see where it goes. Like I was actually really surprised. I was happy that so you do the whole beginning sequence of like becoming like getting Zelda. And then I was able to find enough heart pieces before the first dungeon to get a full heart. So I was happy about that. I didn't have to wait until I was done with the dungeon to have 4 hearts. So now I have 5 hearts. So I think there's a plethora of heart pieces out in the world that you can find.
I'm having an amazing time with it, honestly. Like, I don't know what it is, but I was taken back to a time when I was playing A Link to the Past. And
Wow.
And even when I was playing Link's Awakening on the Switch, did the same thing for me. And this is doing that again. Like, I've already, like, the game came out today. I had a ton of work I had to do, and I still probably got I'm just a little bit behind where you're at, John. And I was probably at a bit of an advantage having done the first like section of the game twice already. So like I didn't lose any time with that at all. So
I do like this. I don't think this is a spoiler, but I do like this new thing that they're doing with Zelda games. They did it with Tears of the Kingdom, where when you load up the game for the first time, you just get thrown into the game. Like it's just like the
cool.
opening.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's the
Yeah,
opening
because you
sequence.
played as Link at the beginning, right? And then
Yeah. So like in Tears of the Kingdom, you know, as soon as you load up the game, you load into Zelda and Link
Yeah.
in the cavern. It's a similar concept where you load up as Link in the opening.
I'm curious with like Cryptic saying that they think that this is like the new entry into 2D Zelda, and maybe this is something that you guys can answer since you've played it. What does that mean? Like, how are we moving forward with 2D Zelda?
So I have it in one of our topics.
Okay.
And so let's circle back because I just want to wrap up my initial impressions and then we'll come right back to that question. So Aaron is asking, is it worth buying? Bram says, how good is the game? I'm 2 hours in. If you guys, for those of you that have been around for a long time, the fact that I already have 2 hours into the game is telling you that this game is worth picking up. Like, it's worth every penny of $59.99 plus tax. Like, or do the deal where you go to Costco, buy your eShop cards for $89, and then buy the two vouchers and get it that way if you want to go digital. But it is 100% worth buying. I only noticed the frames in one area being that bad, but like Digital Foundry has gone on to talk about the frame issues being worse than Link's Awakening. And so, that that may
I've only
be
really noticed it in the overworld when you're not like in a dungeon. It's choppy in the overworld.
got you. Got like just the main, like where we're looking at on the screen right now, like essentially like that, right? Like just the main.
Yeah, yes, yeah, that exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
Okay. So here's what I'll say. The moment you start playing this game, you're immediately going to go, "Oh, this is very much about puzzles," right? So what I'm finding the more I play this game, although you can jump, I still very much get Toad's treasure tracker.
I mean, it's a very tiny jump.
It's very tiny. Yes, yes. And so I very much get Toad's treasure tracker vibes from it. It also like there are puzzles like, and if you guys are watching watching the video right now, I did this thing where I took a boulder and I took it up top, and when I pushed it off onto the blocks, it only broke one, and I was like, huh, well, that's strange. Since it broke one box, it should break the others. I pushed it off, it did not. So then I'm like, well, okay, what's next? Like, it's keeping you thinking the whole time. And so I was like, well, there's got to be like, maybe I needed to take it up higher again. And then it ends up just being the urchin will just break all those boxes, no problem. But I think Johnny made that different.
So I did it the same way you did, but you could climb that wall. So that rock wall, you can climb.
You can't break it. Oh, to get up there without climbing.
To get up there, like
yes,
you use the beds.
Right.
And I love the bed. I love the stair concept. Making beds, and my favorite combo right now is 2 beds and a trampoline.
Right.
Like that helps you get around a lot of places.
No more monkeys jumping on the bed.
And to hop onto Josh's points, yeah, it's worth it, especially if you're a Zelda fan. It's a different. It plays different than if you were Link, which I like. I like that it has a different feel to it, and yeah, it's more of a puzzle. There's a lot of platforming. There's more platforming in it than I was expecting,
which is a welcome addition, I think. You know, versus like Link's Awakening, because you got to remember, Link's Awakening was a Game Boy game that they turned into a Switch game, right? So there's also those limitations that were on, like, that were tied to what that game originally was. Because you could jump in the, like, didn't you have to have special boots, and then you could jump in?
Yeah, it was a feather. It was a feather.
Yeah, you had
feather.
You had to have it equipped or whatever, right?
Yeah, so you get the jump. You get the jump right off the bat. It's not an item. You just get the jump.
Yeah, and then there's like a ring to like carry heavy things.
Right.
Well, now you have I forget what it's called in this game, but you get it fairly often or fairly early. You get it in like the first dungeon where you can move remove items. It's essentially Ultra Hand, but you can't maneuver them. You just like push them back and forth. So you get most of the mechanics pretty early. Like you get the echoes is like the first thing you get. Then you get the Ultra Hand thing very quickly, and then I don't know. I don't know how much I mean, they showed it in the trailer, right?
Everything that you've mentioned so far is all in the trailers. Like we haven't mentioned anything outside of that. So
you get the sword fighter in the first dungeon too, which I was surprised. I thought we would have to wait a little bit, but I think with the concept of it being more open, them giving you the abilities like right off the bat, it's kind of like Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, where you have access to all the abilities and then you could just go wherever you want on the map. That's why I think they're doing it. And the map's big. It's a very big map.
8 times bigger than Link's Awakening.
And I will say I went back to Link's Awakening like last week to get ready for Echoes of Wisdom. And Echoes is the better game. And I know like Link's Awakening is a Game Boy game, came out I don't know how many years ago, almost 30 years ago. And I think we were talking about this on our episode. There's a dungeon in Link's Awakening where the solution is you have to go to a second floor of a room and throw bombs down to kill the enemies on the first floor. You can't do it on the first floor, so it kind of like hinders you in that way. But Echoes of Wisdom, there's multiple ways to solve things.
And I will say this: I've come across some puzzles that I was like basically I could see a chest in a room, and I was like, you're given these abilities, and then you got to play with them a little bit to kind of get the feel of like, oh wait, I can actually maneuver. When you think about like Ultra Hand, you're kind of you're limited. Like I was playing Tears today, trying to because I've been down in the depths. I did the Deku tree. I found the Deku tree in that game for the first time, and that shrine has you having to like, you have to touch something to a panel essentially. Well, the second one I got to, I'm like, I know I don't believe I feel like I do everything wrong in that game, even though I get it completed, and I felt like somewhat limited by the Ultra Hand. And then this is such a cool mechanic that like you have to use your brain, like you have to be using your like creative thinking or whatever while figuring out some of these puzzles. And I'm like I can see a chest. I'm not leaving until I had just gotten the sword ability, which gives you some other kind of like cool abilities. But then I ran out of it, and I was like, okay, well, I know there's no way I'm locked out of this thing. And I did not leave until I figured it out. But it was also quite rewarding, like, albeit like, oh, this would be a no-brainer a half hour from now when I understand these abilities a little bit better than I do now. But they kind of just ease you into them, and it's what made it so much more fun. And Jenna says, I prefer puzzle rather than combat. What's interesting with this game is I think for myself, I was a bit worried about the combat right off the bat, because I was like, is this going to be like action? Like, is there going to be enough action to it? I love the combat. I love the way I'm using and I have been picking the enemies up and just chucking them at the other enemies just so they engage the way I want them to. But like,
when do you sleep though?
What?
When do you sleep? I always put my little minions out and then set up a bed and sleep. Let them take care of it.
Get a little nap in. Yeah. I totally get it. But like, I was surprised by, there's an area where you can, and you'll see it in the gameplay here, where you can use fire, and the way you can like, you're only limited by your imagination in some of these things. And I love that aspect of it. Like it's not just it doesn't, like Cryptic said, it's a little bit on the easier side, and maybe that is the case, but I also felt like it was a good balance of like, I can sit and figure these puzzles out if I want to. I can somewhat like manhandle my way through them if I want to. But in most cases, like there was like the gameplay loop is really hitting on all cylinders. And I'm just like, when I got to that first dungeon, and I think anybody that has been a longtime fan of Zelda is going to think the same thing. They're going to be like, yo, 2D Zelda is back. 2D Zelda is back. And so let's hit this topic. My question is, what if Princess Zelda takes over 2D Zelda games? Kind of to piggyback off of what Cheesy was saying. Like, what if that's what happens here?
Honestly, with the movie coming out, I'm just guessing that like Zelda will be the main protagonist. Like, yeah, you have Link, but if Zelda stands out the same way that Princess Peach did in the Mario movie, I could see this being a big selling point for Zelda games in the future. Like, and I mean like Zelda the character having her own games.
Let me throw this out as we kind of like as part of this discussion. When we look at Luigi's Mansion as essentially a spin-off Mario game, do we think this fits better as its like, does this feel more like its own? I don't know how to word it exactly, but like Luigi's Mansion is not a platformer. It is more of a like a dungeon
3D
crawler,
puzzle adventure.
like
yeah.
Where this to me feels like it has hit this sweet spot that it is still very much a Zelda game, but it is not just a reskin of Link. She is very unique, and the gameplay loop is very fun, and I really like it. I would have no problem with this being the direction that 2D Zelda game, like that if Zelda were to take over the 2D games for the time being, but I also don't want to see her limited to just that when we could really see her shine in a game like Breath of the Wild. Also, I've got somebody came into my chat while I was streaming this gameplay while I was reading chat, and somebody came in and was like, "Yo, is this Zelda? Her breath is wild." And I was like, "Oh, like the dad jokes were on point." So, but yeah, so
Brian?
but no, it was somebody I didn't recognize. I don't think I'd seen him before. So,
Well, Brian has lots of burner accounts, so you never know.
oh yeah, that's true. But Johnny, what do you think? You think where does Zelda now fit? I mean, I know we're early on in this, but to me, this feels like a staple that needs to continue.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they, take. I hope this isn't a one and done thing. I hope they take the concepts that they have in this game and just improve upon them. And I do believe like this was made by Grezzo. Now Grezzo has Link's Awakening and Echoes of Wisdom under their belt. I could see them, depending on who knows? I mean, depending on how well this one does, I could see them doing a sequel because I think Grezzo is somebody that Nintendo relies upon now for Zelda.
A sequel to Echoes of Wisdom.
Yeah, for Echoes of Wisdom.
Well, and I'm going to throw this out. I would not mind at all, just like Luigi's Mansion 3 was essentially co-op, to be able to do a co-op Link and Zelda together.
Ooh.
In this this world.
If I may, I think what works so well with Luigi's Mansion 3 is that Mario isn't co-op at all. It's Gooigi.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a different mechanic that works well with Luigi's Mansion 3. So if they did a Zelda multiplayer game, I would hope that it's something different than Link.
Interesting. Okay. I think I probably differ because I would love to see what the two of them could do together, especially if the direction they take, almost make Ganon to the point that they have to work together, right? But at the same time, I'm also where my head is going is also the Four Swords route. So to see maybe even more than just the two, but make it a 4-player game potentially. But it's hard with the Triforce, right? It just depends on how just kind of depends on how they could take it. The only thing that excites me is this game feels very fresh, and it's in every review, and from the first time I played it, it feels very nostalgic and very fresh. And so I just want to see that continue on ultimately with going forward. I don't know that I would necessarily love the mechanic of like, let me switch to Link and he just kind of goes like, or Zelda goes limp more or less, and then you have to run and play it like, and then like, I don't know that I would want it to be that. I would love to see potentially an NPC play your second character for you, or make it 2-player co-op throughout. Like,
Have you
Give
guys
us
ever
Sheik- give us
played?
Sheik.
Yeah, Sheik would be
Yes.
cool. Have you guys ever played It Takes Two?
I've seen it quite a bit, but I have never tried it.
So that might be kind of cool. Is if like the next game they have Zelda who's making all the copies, Link is doing all the combat, and like with It Takes Two, you have a split screen, and you may have to wait on the other person to like finish their puzzle before the next person can play. But because those two have very different like powers, it might make it interesting.
The other thing now, like, even chat's got me going. Like, Cryptic says maybe it could be Zelda and a younger Impa adventure where you're switching between characters to make more action.
Not even younger. The old Impa in this game
it does not mess around. But now I'm like maybe it's less of a co-op thing and more of a that separation where they have to split and you're playing the combined story, but you're affecting each other along the way, similar to how like Zelda took off in tears, right? And then you eventually find her later. Is there story there that we could learn more about? Is there like I don't know. I think ultimately I'm just so partial to this world, this art style, and everything that's here. I just want to see it continue.
Yeah. I
Well,
like what Joey Pitt said is like, well, like Donkey Kong Country, where you can swap between DK and Diddy. That would be kind of cool too. Sorry, Crawler, what were you saying?
I just that like Impa and Zelda were both really fun characters to control in the
Calamity, Rise of
The-
Calamity,
whatever
Age
that
of
was.
Calamity.
or Age of Calamity. I'm sorry.
So if they could make in a 3D game her abilities that fluid, like that would be super fun. Because she was just with the Sheikah Slate, just like throwing magic out and just causing damage, and Impa was really fun as well, really quick
So I
and
was
responsive.
we talked about like how Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild changed the formula. They're more open than the other 3D Zeldas were. I would love to have have the branch of Zelda games that is open like Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, have a 2D Zelda branch, and then have a third branch of 3D Zelda, but more traditional. And maybe since they have the main team, maybe they could have the main team doing the open games, Grezzo doing the 2D games, and then have some third team just move like the Kirby team or something, because nobody wants those anyway. So move those over to a 3D Zelda.
Not the Kirby slander. Oh my goodness. So the other thing is there's so much low hanging fruit. There's remaster of the original game potentially with Grezzo, right? There's even a Link to the Past getting a I know the word remaster is kind of bad to say right now, but like these would be like what happened with Link's Awakening, from Game Boy to Switch, where it's like a true remake, like not just a remaster.
Remasters have a bad taste in their mouth because Sony's remaking games from less than 10 years ago.
I heard they were calling their next system Remaster 6. That's the it's
But I will say, I will give them props for only charging a $10 upgrade fee.
that is nice to see. Yes.
Nintendo doesn't do that. Nintendo charges you $60 every single time.
They charged you $1 to move stuff you allegedly own to another system per game.
Yeah, Aaron says we need a third-person narrative Link and Zelda game like the new God of War games, where they just bicker the whole time. Excuse me, princess.
And just give you the solution as soon as you walk into the arena.
She's like, boy. So I don't. Yeah, like I love where this is all going. I love how this game feels. I love I love everything about it, and I think it hit at a really good time for me because like I'm trying, like I streamed this game for an hour and a half, but then I played 45 minutes without streaming, without recording, just, and it was so refreshing, and I actually felt like I was relaxing, and that was super nice, you know. And so
Have you guys found anything to increase like your magic ability?
Yes.
Like
So you can,
like how many echoes you can have out or whatever?
yeah, so you can upgrade the try, which is the little fairy that follows you around. And the amount of triangles try has is the amount of like echo points you have. Not every echo costs the same.
No,
Not every echo.
I see the cost on everything. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's like, well, I have 1, 2, and 3 costs. I haven't seen anything more than 3, but I know once you finish a dungeon, you get an extra triangle. It's sort of like getting a heartbeat or an extra heart when you complete a dungeon.
Yeah.
So you still get that. So you get a heart, and then you also get a tri piece. You can also upgrade the sword, which I just discovered how to do that. That's items that you find in the world, and then there's somebody that allows you to upgrade the sword. So yeah, there's definitely things that you do to upgrade, which is always fun. That's always
That's
fun.
good. Sorry, Josh, I kind of interrupted you.
I don't even remember what I was saying. Action RPG elements.
You were just talking
know.
about how much fun you were having playing it and streaming
yeah.
it.
Even Nate was saying like, I just love the charm of this world and what's going on right now. And Nate was honestly like, he was like, please stream this game because I want to know if it's a game for me. Like he was literally the main reason I streamed today because he was like, I want to see if this is something I would like. Cryptic asked a good question here. Says we waited 10 plus years for new adventures in Mario and Zelda, and I'm not sure how much Mario sold, but are we seeing a resurgence in the 2D titles, or are we waiting another 10 years again?
Oh my god, please no. Please no. So all right, if you want to hear a rant, I won't do it here, but listen to this week's episode of Communication Error. I ranted about how long these games are taking, and I was talking mostly about 3D Mario since it's been 7 years since Mario Odyssey. But 2D Mario, if you don't count Mario Maker, it was like 10 or 11 years between New Super Mario Bros. U and
Wonder.
Wonder. And then now that's a good point about 2D Zelda, because the last 2D Zelda game, original 2D Zelda game, was A Link Between Worlds, which was 10 years ago, over 10, 11 years ago.
Which Nintendo needs to find a way to put that on.
Yes,
on
that
Switch.
needs to get off of the 3DS, because apparently it's one of the worst selling Zelda games. It sold worse.
You guys were going through the math or whatever on it.
It sold worse than one of the DS games, Phantom Hourglass.
Phantom Hourglass, yeah.
Yeah.
Not Spirit Tracks though. No way.
No, Spirit Tracks sold worse, but Phantom Hourglass sold more. But yeah, I mean, I hope we don't have to wait another 10 years. And I'm okay with the remakes in there. Like the Link's Awakening remake was a good holdover.
Yeah, and we got like Echoes, right? The Seasons games, like, or not Echoes, Ages of. You can help me out here.
They could do like
Ages of
Minish
Oracles
Cap
and
too.
Ages of Seasons, right? Isn't that the two? Like,
Oracle
Yeah.
of Seasons and
Oracle of
Ages.
Seasons. There we go. I'm like, come on, it's right here. It's midnight. Bear with me. I feel your pain, Johnny. So, yeah. Aaron is asking if there is a skill tree.
I don't think so.
I don't think it's that in depth. Yeah, it's not.
No.
It's not quite that in depth, but still cool to see things upgrade along the way. So
It's kind of like a collectathon, because
Gotta catch them all.
you get all the echoes.
Yep.
I see a new enemy and I'm like, oh, I need that echo.
right.
And then I never use it. And I'll never use
So
it.
once you've copied an echo, nothing. It won't glow, right? So only things that are glowing.
Yeah,
are
only
things-
you only have to copy it once.
I'm gonna ask this question: when you threw out your first echo, that was like an urchin. Were you like, can this do damage to me? Like I avoided them. Still.
I know. I was like,
wondering that when I saw
cannot.
your
It does
video
not.
here.
Oh,
It
so
does
you
not.
if you run into your own echo, it doesn't create damage.
No, it's like
No.
on your team.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
that's cool.
Like I was being very cautious. I'm like, oh, Johnny's got a small kitten. Did it just escape?
She was attacking. She was attacking my leg. That's not good.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, I think that's gonna do it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. We are doing this over on N64 Josh YouTube for the time being. Thank you guys so much for being here with us live. We appreciate every single one of you, and we will see you guys in the next one. Have a great night, everybody. Well, that didn't work like it was supposed to. Let's try pushing the button one more time.
Professionals.
Yep. Nope. It's not. It's not supposed to. It's supposed to. Yeah, it's supposed to play the outro. Oh, my Stream Deck is frozen. That's why. Okay, great. Well, love you guys. You'll hear the outro in post. Bye, everybody.
You got it in. You got it in OBS. You can go hit it.
Maybe. Hang on. Let's see. Intro, outro, podcast intro.